December 13th. We're here for our regular scheduled council meeting. We're going to stand for invocation and then we're going to pledge allegiance. Brother Glenn, lead us in prayer, please.
Lord, we thank you again for this day and all your blessings that come, Lord. Know without you we're nothing. All things are possible through you. We just ask you to guide us today, be with us. Lord, we pray your will would be done and give us guidance. Keep your hand upon us in Christ's name.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Here.
Mr. Pollak?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Wolf?
Here.
Mr. Webb?
Here.
Thank you. Hope everyone enjoyed our tree lighting. It was quite an event. Citizens' comments is first on our agenda. I think everyone here knows the protocol. If you have any citizens' comments, your podium's open. Yes, sir, Rocker.
Morning, Mayor, Council, Rock Creek, Colorado Drive. First, the Christmas thing you were saying, it's fantastic. You know, I mean, before the hurricane and then after the hurricane, we had to go down here, but the parks were done really good. Public Works, you guys did a great job on that. I mean, the parks look super. It made it, I mean, I can't believe the difference. And especially Sunset Park driving by at night, really, really nice. Question for you. Next month starts again, you guys hand out the permits for the boat ramp deal. I use the boat ramp. You can't even walk through that stupid parking lot in the morning when it's wet without washing floor mats in your car. It's terrible. It's disgusting. I've asked before about this, maybe charging a small fee instead of just giving free tickets. I live here. I use the ramp. I would care less paying $50, $100 a year for a sticker to go to ramp improvements for the people who live here. You know, is this something you might want to consider again? Looking into it. I mean, to make that parking lot a little bit nicer. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Other citizens' comments? All right. Moving on to our consent agenda, we have one set of minutes on November 22nd. Chair will entertain a motion, or if there's any corrections.
Make a motion, we accept our consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any opposition? Let the record reflect passes 5-0. Moving to our regular agenda. Doug?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everybody, Council, Mayor. This morning, the first item on the agenda is the Employee of the Month for October and November. October's we were not able to celebrate because he was out that day for our council meeting, so we'd like to do both of them today. So Tommy Davis has got the pleasure of introducing both of them, but he'd like to start with Mr. Andy Matchett.
First, I'd like to say, Council, Mayor, Andy started just about the same time I did, and this is a pleasure. And as you know, the administration, we don't elect these people; they're chosen by all the workers. I couldn't have picked a better guy than Andy Matchett. This guy is on my road department crew. He's a true leader. He half the time when I go to tell him I need something done, it's done. He's done it. Him and Tim Cutler. So I just want to say this is a pleasure to be able to present this. This is from Doug. Get a full day off. I'm not sure you may already have took that.
I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy was supposed to have been here last month, but he was out for a few days, so we got him in this month. Also, we got you a plaque, and I want to say, Andy, it's been a pleasure working with you all these years. This is one of the guys I never have issue with. He's always here. He's always ready to work. And like I said, most of the time when I go ask him, I say, "Hey, I need to get this done." He says, "We got that yesterday." So that's the way this works. So I just want to say, Andy, thank you. You deserve this. You deserve this for a long time, and I'm glad to see you get it.
Well, thank you. And thank the council. This is my first one in a bunch of years. Great. Yeah, I was out last month, follow-up doctor's appointment, as you all know. I've had some health issues, so I want to thank a couple people that have guided me and worked with me during all this. Mary Harmon, Miss Tammy, Doug. I had to take some extended time off, and things are coming around. I have another follow-up tomorrow, and we'll see how things are going from there. So thank the council, and I'm glad that I'm able to be back and serving the citizens of Mexico Beach and their needs.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Pick up right where he left off. I know Andy's went through a lot of stuff with his medical stuff, but you couldn't tell it with his work ethic. He's come back and done everything that he needs to do, and he goes 110%. So good
luck to him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Andy, Tommy, let me get a picture of you guys.
Okay.
Here for the. So here you go. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't run off, Tommy. You're the lucky presenter again here.
We'll take the next one. Mr. Troy Williams, would you come up here, please?
MacGyver, the mayor called him MacGyver.
This is another guy that, just like I said with Andy, the city couldn't do without. And when I say that, I really mean that. This is my go-to guy. When I need something, Doug comes to me and says, hey, we got a bunch of Christmas tree branches back here and we need to make a Christmas tree. I don't know if y'all seen the one down at Parker Park. All we had was a bunch of branches. This man figured out how to put all those branches together and make a Christmas tree, and it's the best Christmas tree that I've seen since I've been out here in 18 years. And him and Nick done this themselves. I mean, it's just awesome. But it doesn't just stop there. When it comes to Troy, he's the mechanic. He dredges. He does anything. I mean, there's nothing you could ask him to do it he couldn't do. And MacGyver is a good word for him. I've known Troy all my life, and I tell you, it's a pleasure. This is well deserved. This is well deserved just for making the Christmas tree. Troy, here's a card from Doug, and of course, his certificate for a day off. He may have unused his too by now. And employee of the month for month of November. And Troy, congratulations, man. You deserve it. You deserve it for the Christmas tree. I appreciate the hard work you do, and I know the rest of the council does also. We'll say a few words here.
Well, I've been here 22 years, and love the city and love what we've done since the hurricane. Come a long way. I love being here. It's a pleasure to work for everybody. Even all the new faces, everybody's great.
Thank you for what you do, bud. Good job.
Thanks, Troy.
Department report.
I have one department report this morning. It's Ryan. Just kind of give an update on FEMA and anything you have questions about.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good morning.
Just want to give you an update on a couple of things, and as we're getting to the end of the year, kind of just what we've done this year, our big picture. So first, as you guys know, we finished up the phase 2 dredging a while back, but we still have to go back and get all that stuff reconciled with the state and get reimbursed and all that kind of stuff. We've been moving that through really well. It's been a great project in that, unlike some of our other ones, it's been very clean, and we're at the point now where we've gotten $4 million back in reimbursement, which is a little bit over half of the total. So we'll keep working on that, and my hope and goal is that we'll get everything reconciled with that and all the reimbursements back by end of Q1 2023. So really happy about that project. Just wanted to kind of highlight it and show you guys where we're at with that. On the regional stormwater project, which is something that's happening over on the 80 acres, we have started moving that one forward just a little bit. We've got a kind of a two-part project, as I think you guys know, we've talked about previously, that We're getting a grant that we've now gotten awarded through the FEMA HMGP program. And we also have a much smaller grant, that's a smaller piece of that, to do wetland restoration over there. It's a NIFWIP grant, National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant. So we've gotten officially all the grant agreement stuff worked out with the NIFWIP piece of that. So we put that out for bid recently. We'll get bids back on that piece of it in, I think, mid-January-ish. So we'll be able to really get some work started over there on that project. Again, it's a smaller piece of the total project, and it's sort of what I think is like the green piece of the project to restore those wetlands. As we are also going to, in the long term, do the stormwater facilities over there, which is the regional detention retention project. That's the HMGP piece of that. I've been in talks with the state about when we'll actually get the grant agreement to move forward with that. And they are saying that by the end of the month, we should have the grant agreement on our plate to go through and route for signature. So once we have that all in place and have like a fully executed agreement with the state, we'll be able to get started on doing the design of that facility, and that'll really get us moving towards, getting the project off the ground, which will be exciting. So it's fun. We've got a lot of moving pieces there with multiple grants, but we are starting to finally see those come together and get that project moving forward. Also some good news just from yesterday. We got the grant agreement for the FBIP boat ramp expansion project. So now we have to, before we can get started, we do have to route that through and get signatures on it from our end and from actually we got that done yesterday. We finished up, we got that signed on our side and pushed back over to the state. So once they sign it and give it back to us, we'll be able to get going. As I think you guys know, David and his team did the design on that. So we're done with design, which is cool. We don't have to go through that whole process. So once we get the grant agreement signed, we'll be able to start looking into bidding that project out for construction. And then the last one I want to give you an update on is the another NIFWIP grant, which is the marine debris removal out in the Gulf. We actually have a task order on the agenda for you guys today to do the monitoring, grant management, and Army Corps permitting. David and his team are going to do the FEP permitting on that, and hopefully I think we'll try to get that started in early 2023 as well, once we get all these sort of contractual things squared away. Overall, now we, in big picture of FEMA public assistance grants, we're over $88 million in payouts, so we keep pushing that number up. My goal is by end of March to get over 90 million. So we'll keep pushing that envelope with the state and try to get those things reconciled and approved for reimbursement. And just as an overall, for you guys' knowledge, I went back and just did a little bit of back of the napkin math, and this year in 2022 we've had over $25 million in expenses validated in conjunction with the state. So that's been, as you guys know, one of my big goals since I came on this project almost 3 years ago, is to just keep pushing the envelope on that. And we're doing it pretty well, I think, if I can say so myself.
Doing great.
Those are my updates. I'm happy to take questions. I know that was a lot of stuff and some new stuff going on, so if you guys have any questions about it, let me know.
Questions?
Just one, do you think the pier's still the same about spring?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all I had.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Doug, before you leave, the lieutenant's not saying anything today, but I got to brag. The sheriff's department, the jurisdiction of the sheriff's department in Bay County has reduced crime by 22% this year, 22.6. I think statewide it's something like 9 or 10. So it makes me feel safe and to have these people looking out for us. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You must got a speed ticket.
I'm trying to keep from getting one.
Okay, moving on. We're into number 3.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 805, a budget amendment, first reading, related to some expenses and some movement of some money that we've had already through this fiscal year.
Okay. Do we have a motion to read ordinance 805 by title only?
Make a motion to read ordinance 805 by title only.
I'll second.
We have a second. Is there any comments concerning 805? The ordinance in itself is self-explanatory as far as what we're doing and why we're doing it. No comments? Okay. Is there any comment from the table? Please read.
Ordinance 805, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, authorizing the amendment for the appropriation of funds and adoption of the amended budget for fiscal year 2022-2023 for the general and sewer fund, providing for severability, providing repeal of parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
All right. Thank you. This is first reading of ordinance 805.
All right, sir. The next item, number 4 on the agenda, is ordinance 801. It's the annexation of the 80 acres. This is our second reading, and the city attorney can elaborate.
Yeah, this is the second reading of the ordinance where we annexed the 80 acres that was purchased from St. Joe Company into the city. I would request that we have a motion to approve and deny.
Okay, do I have a motion to read ordinance 801 by title only?
Make a motion to read ordinance 801 by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there anyone here to speak? Question? Have any comments about ordinance 801, annexation of the 80 acres down on the east end of the city? No? Okay. From the table, any comments? This is second reading. We have a motion second to read. Please do.
Ordinance 801, an ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, providing for the voluntary annexation of parcel ID number 04186-000-000, providing a legal description of the lands to be annexed, more specifically described in this ordinance as petitioned by the property owner pursuant to section 171.044 Florida statutes, providing for the redefining of the city boundaries to include said lands, making certain findings, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve ordinance 801.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Pollock?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Levin?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Before we leave that completes
The annexation.
the annexation.
Now we move into the large scale land use amendment.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The next item on the agenda is number 5, ordinance 802. It's related to the large-scale land use amendment on the 80 acres. Today we have Carly Hansen here from the planning to speak to this item.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So this is the second part, now that the annexation is approved. It's the large-scale future land use map amendment. The City of Mexico Beach is requesting this map amendment to change the 80-acre parcel off of Highway 386 from the Bay County designation from AG to agriculture timberland to the city's public institutional future land use category. This packet in front of you has the draft ordinance, the transmittal letter, which will go to the state and other reviewing agencies, and the analysis we conducted to make sure it's compatible with the comprehensive plan, the land development code, and all of the surrounding development.
Have questions for Carl? Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Is there a motion to read ordinance 802 by title only?
Make a motion to read ordinance 802 by title only.
Is there a second?
second.
I second that. That's good.
If I talk,
Hang on, sorry. Y'all-
One more add, this request is being made to recommend, or staff recommends approval for the first reading, and you need to recommend it for transmittal to the state.
Okay. Is that required in part of the motion, or is it just simply if we approve it, that's the process?
that is the process, but it would be proper for you to put that in the form of a motion.
Proper, okay. I think we feel proper this morning. Rich, could you revise that to include the transmittal to, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so revise it to transmit
Transmit to the state.
to the state.
I second.
You got that, Madam Clerk? All right, we have a motion second. Please read.
Ordinance 802. An ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, amending the future land use map of the City of Mexico Beach Comprehensive Plan by and through procedures required for large-scale map amendment pursuant to authority under Florida State Statute Section 163.3184, specifically changing parcel ID number 04186-000-000 from Bay County Future Land Use AG2 Agricultural Timberland to City of Mexico Beach Future Land Use Public Institutional, repealing ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict, providing for severability and an effective date.
Right. Motion is now read. Second reading will be at our next January
Well,
meeting.
after we get notifications.
Well, that's right. We can't do that until we get here back from the state.
All right, sir.
All right, moving on.
Item number 6, the next item on the agenda is ordinance 804 related to parking requirements for eating and drinking establishments. This is a first reading. P&Z recommended approval on December the 5th, 2022, and Carly Hanson's also here to discuss that.
Did y'all vote on the last item?
No, actually,
Approved.
you did, and because we made a motion to transmit it to the state, you do need a vote on that.
Yes.
No. Okay.
You need a vote on the first reading.
It's because it's also, it's a direction to transmit to the state, and we need a vote on it.
Making this confusing for me.
Okay, just
Okay,
to
so we're
transmit
gonna-
to the state of the whole.
Well, we made a motion to read it, and you asked us to include transmitting it to the state. So now we did that, so we will now,
Vote on it.
we'll vote on that. Okay.
Thank you.
Keep it straight.
We'll get there.
We're gonna have to redo this. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Lally.
Yes.
Okay, are we through with number 5 now?
Good.
True.
She's good.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'll take all that.
All right, Carly, you're up again.
So here in front of you, we have a ordinance for review, ordinance 804. That is, it's a draft ordinance to revise the parking standard for eating and drinking establishments in the land development code to remove the 1 space per 100 square feet of gross floor area, whichever is greater, to leave the standard to just be read as 1 space per 4 seats. This item was recommended by Planning and Zoning Board for 1, and staff recommends approval.
Okay. Do we have any comments? Yes, sir.
Colorado Drive. You know, before the hurricane, you couldn't find a parking spot anywhere. You go to Killer Seafood, you were parking down at the supermarket that used to be there. Summertime, everybody came in, there was nothing. Look at what you have in front of you. All the municipalities around us, the only thing you're basically doing is the same thing that Bay County is doing. Everybody else has more. They have parking for employees. which you don't even mention there. Taking away a couple of parking spots, the only effect you're going to have is on everybody who lives here full-time and the people coming in. You have all these developments coming in. You got 3 on 15th Street. You got the big one back here, another 150-something homes being built on the canals. And you got 215 apartments that are opening this 23. They're going to be full. Them 215 apartments are going to bring in at least 300 cars. Doing this doesn't make any sense. You're not accomplishing anything. You're accomplishing maybe 2-3 less parking spots, and there's going to be nowhere to park. You're not going to tell me people are not going to be parking on city right-of-ways, abutting up to residential neighborhoods and everything else. And like I said, if you look what's in front of you, everybody has more, and you want to go less. It just makes no sense whatsoever. It's something you're going to regret in the future. You got all this development coming in. I don't know why you want to do this.
Anyone else?
Michelle Miller, Oleander Avenue. I'm with Rock on this one. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference as far as the number of parking spaces. You may decrease by a few. Everybody's been in a restaurant before and seen the sign, maximum capacity. Maximum capacity is how many tables with people they can put in there, how many people they can put in there. So if their maximum capacity is, let's say, 100 and they only set up for 75, then what's to say that they're not going to add tables or for people that would not, they're not going to meet a requirement then for parking. So we need to maybe look at capacity, basing the number of seating on or the number of parking places on the capacity of that restaurant. Other options would be maybe looking at some valet parking for off-site parking, and let the developers buy a piece of land where they can build a parking lot and they can valet people to these parking lot spaces. But that's true. They are going to be on our right-of-ways and other people's property and, you know, cluttering up. And it's a safety issue sometimes with 98 coming in and out of there. So those are some things I want to bring up. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion to read ordinance 804 by title only?
I'll make the motion to read ordinance 804 by title only.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Please read.
Ordinance 804. An ordinance of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, amending the Land Development Code to modify section 6.03.00 to revise the parking requirements for eating and drinking establishments, providing for codification, repealing ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict, providing for severability and an effective date.
Thank you. This is a first reading that will be brought back at our January meeting.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda, number 7, it's our P&Z board nominations for expiring terms. I know it's a little confusing because we just placed some of these folks on the P&Z board, but their terms officially expired for the ones that they filled at the end of this year. So posts 1, 3, and 5 are set to expire. Mr. Jerkins, Mr. Kerrigan, and Mr. Linderman have all expressed interest in reappointment. And staff recommends reappointment of the 3 current P&Z members.
Okay. So our purpose in this, number 7, is to reappoint those with expiring terms.
Yes, sir, and we'll swear them back in January, and then in February, the P&Z board will pick a new chair for the rest of that year. It's just we're trying to stay on track with the terms so we don't run into the problem we ran into earlier this year.
All right. Is there any motion or discussion?
I make a motion to reappoint the 3 members to another 2-year term.
A second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollak,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes. Just as a follow-up to the nominations, I have passed out a list for you guys that has additional members if you were so interested in filling the temporary position, excuse me, the alternate positions that we have. Otherwise, we can table that for the next agenda in January.
All right, is this list that we have?
There's 5, there's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ms. Hamilton had removed her name from the list.
Okay, I would like for, if we're here, why don't we make, we need some alternates. I don't know why we wouldn't go ahead and handle it and be done. We have some good names. Are there any recommendations? If there's no one has it specific, I think we just go in order of time they receive their application.
I like the 2 ladies myself. Instead of just picking at the top.
I think we need some,
Julie and Quinn, my recommendation.
I'd like to see Steve and Julie because Steve has been on the list since May.
well, just because the nets don't mean it. But I think we need a variety. I like Jerry, I like to have at least 2 ladies on the board. And both of these seem pretty good. They well in real estate. So I like to.
Well, then a motion's in order.
Jerry?
I make the motion for Julie and Quinn.
Who?
So,
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna make a motion to recommend these 2
I
ladies.
did. I make a motion. We recommend Julie and Quinn, Julie Gardner and Quinn Jenkins.
Okay.
To the P&Z.
I would second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
No.
Mr. Pollak,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
No.
Mr. Welly.
No.
Okay. Do we have another motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Steve Cox and Julie Gardner.
I'll second it. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollak,
I have to say no.
Mr. Smith,
I got to say no.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Welly.
Yes.
Okay, we have 2 alternates, Mr. Cox and Mr. Garner, that have been approved by the council to serve as alternates for the planning and zoning board. I assume they will be notified.
Yes, sir. We'll maintain this list going forward should we ever need any more appointments down the road. But we'll move forward with these 2 for our next meeting.
All right, thank you. Number 8.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda, number 8, is related to the P&Z board members for mandatory ethics training. The city attorney is to present it.
Yes, Mayor. At the last regular city council meeting, Councilman Pollak brought up the fact that he thought that our P&Z board members should be required to take the ethics class, and the council directed me to craft a resolution creating that. I have done that, and that is what this resolution is about.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to read?
Make a motion to read resolution 22-10.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Anybody have a comment? Okay. We have a motion second, please read.
Resolution 22-10. A resolution of the City of Mexico Beach, Florida, mandating that members of the Mexico Beach Planning and Zoning Board attend the ethics training as required of elected officials by Chapter 112.3142 Florida statutes and providing for immediate effect.
Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve resolution 22-10.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, the only thing I wanted to clarify is ethics and sunshine are two different things, correct? They already have to do sunshine. Ethics is an additional.
We automatically do sunshine training internally.
Okay.
I have a question, but this is for the P and Z, is it also for the council? Or?
The council
You
has
guys
to-
are already required by statute, by state statute.
You trying to get out of it?
Yeah, listed.
No, we're cut already. All right, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Rowley.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Number 9.
Next item on the list, number 9, is a task order for marine debris removal. Ryan spoke briefly about that. He's also here to discuss this item. Staff recommends approval with authorization. The numbers are approximate because the total number I used estimated at $500,000. It's a little less than that. So our match would be $25,000, which is a 5% of that number. I'm recommending using existing undesignated ARPA funds that we received, and currently the balance in that account is $278,975. We would pay that over time like any other grant, so it doesn't come out immediately. It's just a partial payment throughout the process. So Ryan's here if you have any additional questions related to the marine debris removal.
Okay. Been talking about this for a long time. So we have a task order. Is there any comments or questions from our citizens? Okay. Is there from the table or a motion to move forward?
I'll make a motion to approve the task order for marine debris removal.
Second, anyone?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Rowley.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that, Steve. We'll get that project moving forward. The next item, number 10 on our agenda, is the Dewberry contract. This contract was originally written for 3 years plus 2 one-year extensions. This would be the final extension available where we would go out for formal bid this coming year. Staff recommends approval. We've had a great working relationship with Dewberry related to the history that they've had for so many years, and at this point in the game it would be tough to switch players. So staff recommends approval for the final year.
Okay. Excuse me, any comments about our Dewberry contract? This on the renewal? Okay, from the table again, discussion or motion?
I make a motion to renew the Dewberry contract for the final year.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Mr. Rowley.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Doug, you're up.
Mr. Mayor, respectfully request to pull the item for administrative lot maintenance policy this time.
You pulling it?
Yes, sir.
Not ready for it?
I'd rather move it to another day.
Okay. And I'm assuming we just need to refine it, it's just not in a form you're...
Yeah, I've talked with the attorney a little bit further, and I think we need to adjust a little bit to something in the Atlanta Development Code, so I'm going to look a little further into it and come back to you.
All right, number 11 is being taken. Over there, Lois, being removed from the agenda. Okay. Number 12. Number 12 is the mayor. Excuse me, that's me. All right. Number 12 is a State of the City 4-year review. I want to start by saying we're going to pass out some packets for those of you that are here. If we end up with a little shortage, maybe you can look on or follow along. But, over the last 4 years, we have been moving at a speed that has been difficult to what I think is evaluate and review not only where we've been, but where we're going. I think everyone here is familiar with the settings on a washing machine. You fill and you wash and you rinse and you spin. Well, we've been in spin cycle now for 4 years. And I think it's time that we simply take a moment this morning and review the energy and the effort that's gone into putting our city back together. Unfortunately, I don't think we can do that if we don't look at where we're starting. So, if you would, you can follow along. If you don't have a paper, you can follow, or you can look on the screen. But if you would, the first picture is nothing more than what our city looked like on the morning of 10/9 of 2018. Now, it wasn't a bright sunny day that day, but the landscape of our city is what the purpose of this picture is to show. If you look at the next 2 pages, pages 2 and 3, they regrettably remind us of what our city looked like on the late afternoon of October the 10th of 2018. It is still to this day difficult to envision that 3 hours of the fury of Mother Nature would lay the level of devastation that we incurred. And just a few facts, moving to page 4. Michael was the first Category 5 storm to make landfall in the Panhandle. Our city was in the east quadrant closest to the eye. That's commonly referred to as the maximum destruction zone. You can see the star in terms of the location of the eye. The next slide. The effect of that. Recorded maximum storm surge, 19 feet. 95% of our entire geographic mass of our city was flooded. Recorded wind speed of 155 miles an hour plus. Needless to say, we all, while we've heard about the devastation through the last 4 years, a grim reminder of how a little town like us just simply could not overcome. The result of that on page 6 shows us 70 to 80% of all the structures in our city were damaged or destroyed. 75% of our residents were displaced. Our power grid, our substations, our communications tower, all destroyed. Our major lift station destroyed. 25 of our 27 lift stations were inoperable, and our 18-inch water main was compromised in multiple locations. So, page 7 is nothing more than, this is our starting point. We had very little shelter, we had no water, we had no sewer, we had no communications, and we had no power. So, moving forward in this presentation is what we've done now that we've established that this is what we had to deal with. Not a very pretty picture. So, page 8, things that we did in the short-term recovery. You can see that in the first 2 weeks we started moving debris. We received a $2.9 million project worksheet approved by the state of Florida, the fastest that anything had ever been approved at that time. In 3 weeks, we had water restored to north of 98. In 4 weeks, we had sewer restored north of 98. And in 8 weeks, we had a completely rebuilt power grid citywide. Now, I'm saying all this fast, but remember, we're in spin cycle here. And it's hard to hang on and realize the effort and the energy that it has taken to get us through the first 2 months in terms of infrastructure of the city so that people can return and begin the process of rebuilding their lives or their homes and their business. Page 9. Page 9 is something that it just sort of compresses what we've been doing for 4 years. Over on the left-hand column, you can see that the FEMA total of completed projects, and you can go through those, and unless you're part of the team, unless you're in the tub spinning, it's hard to visualize and realize the effort and the energy and the commitment that it's taken to put these things back together in our city. You can see the debris removal was $50 million alone. The canal phases 1 and 2, $20 million. And we won't go through the projects, but you can. The bulk is that we've been busy and we've accomplished a lot, and our city is vibrant again. Over on the projects that are yet to be scheduled, you can see that we're still busy. Those are all things, some were talked about this morning, but they are part of the, I guess you could say, the recovery system that we're not going to feel right about ourselves until we get some of these things done. And then unfortunately at the bottom of the 3 big projects, Municipal Pier, the fire complex, and the East Jetty Wall, close to $17 million yet to be decided. Even though we're moving forward and we're making progress, they're not obligated. Now, I don't want to leave this page until we talk about, I want to share with you the commitment from so many people. And when I use that term, I don't mean this table, I mean everyone, our citizens, our property owners, our businesses. It's great to have people that have the heart to do this. Dealing with the long-term recovery process of FEMA is more difficult than I think anyone, certainly myself, never having done it. But we stayed the course, and we've had people that have just simply dug their heels in and said, that we're right, we deserve this. The Atkins Group, AC Disaster Consultants, Dewberry, our staff, it has taken a lot of energy, and I hope that what you see is something that you appreciate, even though behind the scenes you don't fully understand what we've gone through. So this list, the pier, we all know is, without it, we still sort of feel that, don't we? We need it. Fire and police, I think without question, we're going to get there. It's just going to take more tenacity than we thought. So, moving on. Page 10 is just some statistics and some stats that really just do nothing more than validate what you see and hear every day in our city. We see cranes, we hear hydraulic hammers pounding pilings, we hear nail guns, saws, hammers, walls being raised, roofs being put on, and you can see from at the top the certificate of occupancy. And let's clarify that these numbers are only completed CO projects. They are not what's going on now. As we all know, that's a moving target. But it does illustrate, graphically illustrate, turbo spin cycle. This is what we're in. You can see that we're just a beehive of activity, and this illustrates that. At the bottom, same thing, but it also shows how far we have to come, or how far we need yet to come. And that's on the water meters. You can look at that at the bottom. It shows active. In 18, we had 1,825 active water meter accounts. Today, we only have 1,270. So, bottom line, up at the top of that page, or at the top of that section, you can see the inactive homes still remaining 648. So, yes, we're busy, but there's still a lot of voids and work to be done. So, on the next page, page 11 is a concurrency report. And through the last 3 years especially, we've been questioned about, are we moving faster than we know what we're doing? Things are happening quickly. Are you able to hold on? Can we make it through? Now, the concurrency report, if you can, on the left-hand side, it shows that we have 1.5 million gallons of water that we're allotted from Bay County. That's the city allotment. Per day usage is 1.5 million gallons. And you can see that we're tracking that by looking at, and you can see we have actually listed them, people that have come to us, or we know are coming back online, and we keep up so that we can subtract from our usage, so that we can account for that we have enough water to service those people that are wanting water from inside the city. And even with the projects that we have, you can see that we still have over half of our capacity available for future growth. And on the sewer, you can see the same. We're allotted 473,000 gallons of sewer flow. To date, we have 276,000, and if you look at the projected, which is accounting for these folks that are still over on the left-hand column, we have 29,300 gallons of sewer capacity available when you count everything that's on the left-hand side of the page. So, yes, we're moving fast, but we're also tracking where we're going to ensure that we can get there. The next, page 12, is an interesting, something we don't see here very often, but I wanted to share it with you. The CDC tracks short-term lodging units. You can see there's 6 categories: campground, condo, duplex, hotel, motel, mobile, and single family. And again, this is for those short-term lodging units that are charged the 5% bed tax. That's not relative to the city budget in any shape or form, other than that the CDC does support us. But what it does show that we are coming back at a rate on the short-term rental side faster than what I actually, and probably most people, would have realized that we would be able to have this many rentable units in our city in 4 years. And obviously, the motel, the El Governor, and the Guff View, who are coming on next year, will greatly get our number back more to the benchmark of 162 that you see that in 2018. So, interesting numbers, again, validation of the speed in which we are making a recovery. The last page is our local business update. Now, I did this because I truly believe that much of the charm and the character of our city is related to the business community in terms of not being corporate America. And if we're going to recover and we want to have that good feel about our town, then our businesses play a major role in that. And you can see, for those that have on the left-hand side, the repaired or newly constructed and reopened. And it's nice that all of these folks have, on this list, are part of our business community. Many of those are new. And when I say new, I'm talking about newly constructed. They were here. The Shell Shack, Harmon Realty, both brand new structures. Centennial Bank, Ace Hardware, brand new structures. We have the motel in 2023 coming back, both Guffview and the El Governor. And then the new businesses that have come in since Michael. And you can see those that are listed. And unfortunately, the casualty list, businesses not reopened. I believe there's 22 or 23 that we had pre-Michael that are not here today. That is very disturbing, and it's difficult for us to recover if we don't have a way to entice our business community to come back. And you can see that I believe there's 5 food or 5 restaurants. We still only don't have a grocery store, but we're grateful for the market for what they provide. But this is a list of our businesses, and it shows, I think, some strength and some weaknesses. And but it's the reality of what we have here today. Now that's all the slides, but I want to take a minute and talk about some footnotes that are relative to what you've seen. The first one is, during the first year after Michael, some of the most stressful times this city incurred was financial. We had $1 million reserve, and we thought we were on top of the world. It had taken us almost 5 years to accumulate that. You also have to remember that after the storm, 10 days after the new year started for us, Michael came. New Year was October 1st. Our taxes that had been bailed out were based on, of course, pre-Michael year. But were people going to pay their taxes? Was a business who had no business going to pay? Was a house that was a rental house that was supporting the income, were they going to pay their taxes? And yet we're trying to put our city back together, and we're trying to tell people, please do this work for us, and we can pay you. Very stressful times. It's something I hope you're all proud of. We're the only Bay County municipality affected by Michael that did not borrow money. I'm not sure how we did that, I'll be honest with you. But I can say that without the partnership of the state of Florida, we would not be where we are. It is difficult to recoup when you're the smallest city, maximum destruction in landmass size, and yet trying to do everything that we've looked at and have accomplished in 4 years without borrowing money. The reason we did that, we didn't have anything to pledge but our taxable assets. That was the only life preserver this city had. The solvency of our ability to stay afloat was based on nothing more than ad valorem tax that we hoped people would pay, and if we pledged that to a bank, we put ourselves in jeopardy, quite frankly. And there was talk of that. Some of you that were here, that talk went around. Mexico Beach is going to be in Bay County. They can't pay their bills. Well, we did. Thank you. Amen from the background. Okay. So, that we have accomplished what we have, I think it's a good morning here to simply acknowledge that our city, that there was a commitment by this table and by you folks to make it work. Also an issue that, or a footnote, just something to think about, is continuity of leadership. What happened after the storm? And who was driving the bus? The leadership here at this table changed faces. There were new people in, old people out that were there. We've had 4 city administrators in 4 years. We've had 3 city clerks in 4 years. And what that does, it puts the spin cycle out of balance. You know, when the tub is spinning and it gets out of balance, it goes ba-thump, ba-thump, ba-thump. It hits the side wall of the machine. Well, that's what happened here. We got out of balance, but we didn't stay out of balance. So we kept our vision, we kept our commitment, and I hope today that if you look at what has been accomplished in a short little 5-minute, 10-minute talk from me today, that when you walk out, you click your heels and you feel good about where you live. We are a wonderful, wonderful community. And I think that what this says, and I hope it spreads to our town, that if we want to be quaint and we want to be unique and we want to be charming and we want to have some character to us, that's what we've done in 4 years. That we have preserved that. That we have made a difference. If you look at pictures 2 and 3, how in the world would we ever be where we are today without a full team pulling all in the same direction? We wouldn't. We simply would not do that. So, from this table to all of you, smell the roses. Smell the roses. It's time to stop and just recognize and believe in who we are. We know who we are. That's not in question. We're a fishing village. Yeah, we're sort of a souped up fishing village, but that's the bottom line is that's all we ever were. That's what we are today. That's what we want to be. We're not for everyone. We don't try to sell ourselves to be for everyone. And I know there's concern in town. I hear it every day. I've had it myself. I've said at night and said, are we going to make this work? Are we going to have that charm and that character? Are we going to be that town that was what we saw on 10/9 of 2018? And I say we will. I say we are. I say what we're doing is making a difference. So I hope in the last 4 years, in the information you've been provided, that we remember that and that we work toward a goal of unity and feeling good. I think, how could you not feel good and live here? I'm going to tell a story in closing. It had to have been 30 years ago. My Uncle Charlie Parker was the first mayor. And there was a person in his office, I went over to see him, and he was upset. City, this isn't right, that isn't right, I don't like the way you're not handling my rental house right. He went on and on and on, and I was sitting out in the front. And I doubt many of you knew Charlie Parker. He was just a small-statured man, very calm, Methodist preacher. And he walked out to that guy and he said, I've heard everything you said to me, and I think you've dropped your anchor in the wrong place. Maybe you should cut your rope. There's a lot of people that would love to be where you are. And my point in saying that is spread the word about what we have here. 4 years and from what we've been through, and I've said it, I just think it's time that we recognize the work, the energy, the effort, the commitment that this city has, because I can tell you, this team, we're not giving up. We're going to be who we are, we're gonna be that place that all of us talk about being, we're gonna show it. So take this information, study it. It may spur some questions. I'm not gonna take a lot of questions today. I just want you to, I'm not gonna take any of it. But you can use this, and I hope that when you leave here, pump your chest a little bit, make you feel better. All right.
Well, Mr. Mayor, that's a tough act to follow. The next item on the agenda is staff reports. I have a couple things. Just a little bit more good news to pat yourself on the back for. The City of Mexico Beach applied to be a tree city for the year 2022. We had some Arbor Day events this year, and we were selected to be a tree city for 2022. We have a just to let you know, that's like there's only 160 of them in the state of Florida, out of all the cities in the state of Florida that have this designation as a tree city. You know, we've lost so much of our tree canopy after Michael. To start getting that back is what the direction we're going. So we're partnering within the Arbor Day Foundation to help us keep moving forward. We're working on some grants that we'll bring back to you soon for some possible tree donations and things like that for grants. But that is a real good thing for us for our parks and some of the city right-of-ways and things of that nature. So we're excited. We'll get more information for that down the road. I want to share that with you. The next thing is we have a movie in the park this Friday, sponsored by the Sheriff's Office and our city staff. It'll be 6 o'clock at Under the Palms Park. It was excellent last year, and we're happy to have the Sheriff's Office to come back to that. We're going to have some food, I think hot dogs and chips and popcorn and sodas and stuff like that. And then the Christmas Chronicles will be shown that evening. So we're looking forward to that on Friday night in Under the Palms Park. Just a quick update about some closings. This is the only meeting we have this month for the council meetings. So I just want to remind you that tomorrow between 11 and 1, City Hall will be closed. We have an employee appreciation luncheon that we're having tomorrow from 11 to 1. We've posted that. We have some changes in your trash pickup later this month that'll be put out on the internet. So we'll still be picking up trash 4 days that week to the week of Christmas. And we appreciate everything the council's done for the employees this year, and we're looking forward to 2023 and everything that it brings, sir.
Okay, thank you. Questions for the administrator? Okay.
Let me make a comment.
Sure.
I personally want to thank all of you for everything you've done since the hurricane. City workers, it's amazing what they've done on behalf of you. I had the storm surge go right through my house, 15 feet, right? First thing, and I lost my business, as you know. Everything was destroyed. And my partner called me up and said, Di, you need to come back to Atlanta, which is where we're headquartered. And I said, not a chance. We are coming back, and we are going to be part of the city, and we love it. Thank you so much for everything you've done, all of you. And the citizens. We all helped each other. It was just amazing coming back. So thank you.
Mr. Attorney, you got anything?
I don't have anything there.
Okay.
I do. Great review, Mayor, of the last 4 years. I encourage the people listening on a video and also sitting here today, if you're going to share something on social media, this is what you want to share. Right here. You want to put this out there, where we're at today. I don't say that we're perfect, we're nowhere close. We have a town hall meeting coming on January the 10th. That's an opportunity to bring, you call them problems, I like to call them curiosity. You want to ask a question, you want to know something. That's the time to do it. Let's rally for this, make sure that we bring it along with solutions. Don't just bring a problem, bring a solution. And I think we could, at this table, make the right decisions to move the city forward the same way it's been moving for the last 4 years.
Thank you. Bob, you got anything?
Merry Christmas, everyone, and remember the reason for the season. Thank you.
Jerry, go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody be happy. Happy. I do appreciate the people that's been putting up Christmas decorations. There's a lot that you can ride through the town and you can see a lot of.
We look good, don't we?
Yes, we do. And it makes me proud of our city too. It really does.
Hey,
I have my first estuary meeting today, and I'll keep you posted on that.
All right, thank everyone for coming. Merry Christmas. Motion for adjournment.